Hey everybody, time for another story. And this one occurred, let's see, this was back in 2009 at a game called NJ Nam down at Usana in way down in South Jersey. NJ Nam is a game that's kind of bounced around in the last couple of years, but this was the last year it was actually in New Jersey. And myself and a couple of my teammates were the medics for one of the sides in this game. And as the medic, I got to kind of float around and I saw some interesting stuff. But this was definitely the funniest thing I saw that weekend. At NJ Nam, being, kind of a large scenario game that it was, you had these helicopter props. And if you've never seen these, what they are, it's basically just a pole, a big long stick, maybe a broomstick, 6 feet long, with a with like a little cutout of a helicopter silhouette on the end of it, and attached to it is a long rope. And so the helicopter pilot carries the stick around, and up to 5 people can be on the rope. And if you're hanging on to that rope, you're in the helicopter. You can't get shot. And you could use these to, drop people all over the field, stick them behind enemy lines, what have you. The other thing the helicopters could do is you don't have to take any passengers, but you could just fly around doing reconnaissance and nobody could touch you because you're a helicopter, you're up in the air. The only way you could knock out a helicopter was, one, another helicopter loaded with people could shoot at you, shoot you down, or people with the anti-tank weapons, with the launchers, with the nerf little footballs, they could shoot you down. And so what happened at this game was there was, at the base for my team where I happen to be, there was an opposing helicopter doing reconnaissance, and he was just kind of floating around the edges. Anytime someone kind of went close, he would back off, they'd come back, he'd come back a little closer. And basically he was hanging out, floating around with the radio, listening to what we were doing, watching people go out, and able to say, they're sending 10 guys to this part of the field, 5 guys over that way, so that the opponents knew exactly what we were doing. And of course, this can't be allowed to stand. So finally, someone finds one of the anti-tank launchers and goes after this guy. Now, there's a safety issue here with the anti-tank launchers. You can't just have people launching these Nerf footballs at anybody nearby. So the rule is you have to be outside of 20 feet in order to launch one at a helicopter, whether it's the empty helicopter or the helicopter full of people. You have to be outside of 20 feet. So this guy with the launcher goes up to take down this helicopter doing reconnaissance on our base. And rather than run away, what the helicopter pilot did is he sprinted right at the guy, and before he knew it, they were right next to each other, elbow to elbow. Well, now the dude with the launcher can't shoot the helicopter down, and the guy with the helicopter can keep doing his reconnaissance, right? So the guy with the launcher runs away from the helicopter, and this very quickly devolved into just this comedic, this circus, as this one dude with the launcher was running about our base in all sorts of, figure eights. And the guy with the helicopter was chasing him in order to stay within 20 feet of him. And it went on for a solid 2 or 3 minutes, and when it's almost 100 degrees outside, sprinting around in circles for 2 or 3 minutes is quite a long time. And so at this point, basically all activity ceases in the base, and everyone's just cracking up laughing at the shenanigans going on with the helicopter. Eventually, the guy with the copter thinks he can make his getaway. He kind of does a little cut and starts to run. The guy with the launcher tees up and hits him right in the back. But for 2 or 3 minutes, it was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen on a paintball field. A anti-tank launcher running away from a helicopter so that he could get the requisite distance in order to shoot down said helicopter. It was something I don't expect to ever see again. It was one of those 1 in a million things that just happens to happen. So that's my story for today. Hope you found it funny, and if you were there, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Thanks for watching.